Hello everybody, it's Suffolk Andy here, making my way home on a very, very grey looking day in Suffolk. Still got this bloody nasty cough, but there you go, friggin' flu jab. Well, I got a phone call last night from my mate Buster, who's the advanced rider I mentioned in the blog on safety. And he said, Andy, will you come to Sam's on Tuesday night? We've got a speaker, and I think Sam's stands for Suffolk Advanced Motorcycle Club. I'm going into the Lion's Den tonight, boys and girls, as a non-advanced rider. But I said I'd go. Apparently there's one or two people who want to meet up with there, so that should be quite interesting. I'll probably report back on that one on another blog. But talking about these organisations and different things, I think I mentioned in a blog a little while ago about MAG. Now I think I said something stupid, you know, like it's £25 a week, but it's not, it's £25 a year to join MAG. And I know most of you boys and girls will know who they are, but those who don't, they're like a action group for motorcycles or motorcyclists, and they lobby politicians in London and the EEC to stop making up silly bloody rules and trying to overturn them. Let's let the old farts overturn them, and some of the things they come up with. I can remember, I think it was 2011, we had a protest here on the A14 organised by MAG for some EEC regulations they were trying to bring in on motorcyclists, and we all turned up, and we done about a 5-mile lap, I think, up and down both carriageways of the A14. And at that time that was about the high-vis jackets, making them compulsory. Now, if I give you a little bit of insight into MAG, and I don't know a lot about them even though I'm a member, I think they started when the old crash helmet came in, when they said everybody's got to wear crash helmets. Now at the time, a lot of people thought this was an infringement of your human rights. You should have your own opinions of what you wear on a bike or anything else. And MAG was formed as a protest action group against wearing crash helmets. We all know now that you know, it'd be silly to ride a bike without a crash helmet. But when I first passed my test, you really didn't need one. You could ride a bike without one. Crazy, but it was. But I could still see where they're coming from as a group for individual choice, even though I think they're wrong on that one, the actual founders, but that's another story. Yeah, so the EEC wanted to bring in these high-vis jackets to everybody had to wear them, and like I said, in 2011 we all protested up on the A14, and there was hundreds and hundreds of bikers, and we blocked up the carriageways for, I don't know, an hour, to the sort of discouragement of the motorcar drivers who didn't find it very, very funny. And there was quite a lot of comments in the local paper about bikers and what they thought of us and what a waste of space we were and everything else. But this protest was organised all over the country. It wasn't just here in Suffolk, it was everywhere. I know they done it up in the north, up in, you know, everywhere over Britain they had this demonstration. Well, you say, what are they doing now? Well, MAG actually have got people in Brussels fighting your cause when it comes to stupid laws on motorcycles, and they've also got people in London, and they also take up causes generally anything to do where they think motorcyclists are being sort of discriminated against. And I'll give you one or two check this. One or two little bits and pieces. A lot of people don't realise that the EEC really, they really do not like motorcyclists, and there's some of the commissioners really would want them off the road. So it's a bit of a problem. Well, one of the things they came up with, and this affects motor cars as well, sorry about the coughing, come up with as well, is they wanted to do an MOT for cars and motorcycles, which would be the same all over the EEC. Every country would have a MOT what was the same. But this MOT is going to be more stringent than the one we have here. Far more stringent. In fact, I have read that a lot of the MOT stations that do MOTs here wouldn't be able to afford some of the equipment to do it. It would be very, keep an eye on him, it would be very intrusive. It would be intrusive into the engine of your car even. You know, taking bits off and checking and all this sort of stuff. So one of these commissioners then decided he'd put it into motorbikes as well. So could you imagine going to have your bike MOT'd and they pulled your engine apart looking for bits and pieces? Does that speak to me? Hey, thank you, look, see? Not speeding. I only slowed down just as I got there, but you know, it's nice to say thank you. Yeah, so MAG has protested against this, and other motorcycle organisations all over Europe, and they dropped us out of it. They said, well, okay, then we'll let bikes out of it, because it's not going to be very good to sort of take motorbike engines apart or whatever they're going to propose. Well, a few months back, some bright spark decided they'd put us back in for this super MOT. And so MAG are fighting that one at the moment, trying to make sure this doesn't come in this country. And one of the other harebrained schemes that they came up with was modifying your bike. As you know, most of us bikers like to put bits and pieces on our bikes. We like to put different exhausts on, you know, because we all know the exhausts that come from the manufacturers, most of them are bloody hideous looking lumps of scrap. And most of those are just to meet the EEC regulations on emissions. So most of us would like to change our exhaust, which we do, and modify, you know, everything on your bike. You know, people who build choppers or bobbers or anything else like to change bits and pieces on their bikes. But the EEC said, no, we don't want this. Your bike has got to be standard. The vehicle has got to be standard. And so that's being fought at the moment. Could you imagine that once you picked your bike up, it'd have to be standard, whatever you wanted. To me, that's an infringement of your rights. It should be up to you how you what parts you put on your bike, as long as they're not unsafe and unroad legal. And I can go on to make exhaust on that one in a minute, because most of us have to grind off the not for road use on our exhaust, so I can get through an MOT. and we've all done it. So yeah, so MAG is an organisation that fights your corner. You know, and it costs a lot of money to run this thing, and I don't personally think that they waste money at all. I think every penny they get goes towards your fight, really. And I would actually like to say that I would thought every motorcyclist would join MAG. It's well worth it. 25 quid a year. You get a nice magazine every quarter, which is well worth a read, telling you what's going on within Europe and in this country, and general motorbike bits and pieces and interesting facts and stuff. Now, I don't buy a lot of motorbike mags, I must admit, but when I get this one, I do sit down and I do read it from cover to cover. I quite like it. It's very well done. I'm now going to go past a bit of a tragedy site here on this bit of road here. You'll see some flowers on a lamppost here. I'm looking at them now. There you go. Had a road rage incident along this road between a biker and a car, and nobody's really sure what happened, but to cut a long story short, the biker, I think, tried to get in front of the car to stop him, and the car ran right over the top of him and dragged him all the way down that street, and he died a few days later. So that was road rage. Now MAG, they will fight your corner for sentencing of slow down, thank you. Yeah, MAG will, you know, if there's been a fatality somewhere and some driver has wantonly killed a biker, and they get the usual slap on the back of the wrist and a £2 fine and 1 hour's community service, they will go back and they will ask for the sentence to be re-looked at and everything else, and put pressure on local ministers to bring it up. Sometimes they have success and sometimes they don't. So something like that tragedy there, if it turns out to be the car driver and he gets his slap on the wrist and his £1 fine and his £1 hour community service, they would come back and lobby to have that looked at. So it's well worth having. They're into so many parts and pieces of motorcycle, it's unbelievable, and well worth your £25 a year. Right, not far from home now, on the outskirts of Ipswich, now going back in. So once again, I'd say to you, if you go on the line and you don't know anything about MAG, put it in there, MAG, Motorbike Cycling Action Group. Have a read, have a look, make up your own minds, and give them a go. Well, I'll be glad to be home now. I've still got me summer gear on, and this old fart on a bike is now starting to feel it. My hands are getting a little bit cold with these summer gloves on, so I should have me heated grips on, but I've only got about another half mile to go, so I'm not going to bother. And I need to get this leather summer jacket off and put me winter leather jacket on, and get myself a bit warmer, I think. Anyway, only a short one today. I hope I've made sense on all that. As you know, I don't edit any of my blogs. What I say is what I, you know, put on YouTube. If I get a word wrong, I get a word wrong. I'm only human, you know. So that's from me, boys and girls. Oh, and by the way, I'll be looking forward to see a couple of chaps tonight at Sam's. They've been watching my vlogs and I've been watching theirs. We haven't met up yet, and I dare say we'll share one or two stories tonight at the Suffolk Advanced Raiders. So the Lion's Den, eh? Anyway, that's enough of me just wobbling on and whatever. So see you all later. Suffolk Andy.